Subscribe and hit the bell icon to never miss an update from ETimes TV.
I never thought that I wanted to become an actor, but I think maybe I was destined to become an actor because in ninth standard I did a mono acting competition. I remember whatever I've become today, the whole credit completely goes to acting. The zest to become a better actor actually made me a better human being. For an artist, especially for a performing artist, it's very important to find originality because people pay for originality; they don't pay for clones.
Welcome to ETimes TV, sir.
Thank you so much. I'm traveling in the middle of everything, but we can continue.
Okay, no problem. So, how
Yes.
has your day been and how are you doing?
Slightly hectic because I packed up at 6 a.m. and back on the set at 2 p.m. So yeah, less of sleep, but then it's work, so I'm happy.
Okay, and how is your character Milland shaping up for you? How is it helping you personally? I mean, what are the characteristics that you love about it?
Fortunately, I think everything about Milland because I think a part of you is something that portrays the character itself. And I think through each character, you reveal more of yourself. And I think he's intense. I love the intensity that he portrays, the deep pain and the deep love that he has for Nupur. I think, and of course, in the deep love, there's a lot of trust and understanding and support. So I think it's a very varied, very layered character, which is something that I really enjoy. That despite of all the pain and all the intensity, the deep love is the core, and that's where I think it forms a very beautiful relationship. And completely enjoy playing Milind with the daughter, with the family, everyone. I think interpersonal relationships. I think it's fabulous.
But the relationship that is shown between Nupur and Milland in the show, don't you feel that it is quite relevant to relationships that people share in the current times, given the hectic lifestyle and everything?
Yes, quite true. Because I think what happens is every two people will always have two distinct conditioning and two distinct way of looking at life. So, like Millen's way of looking at life is to let go and move forward, and Nupur's way of looking at life is not to let go. And hers is, I want to get stuck onto the fact that yes, my daughter is missing, and I will do everything again and again to find her. And Milind is like, okay, it's been 7 years. So many times we have failed at that. It's time we move forward. It's time to step forward in life. I think two different conditioning, and that's where the conflict also happens. That the drama also happens in life, and I think it's in relationships. These is also these kind of conflicts in different forms keep coming. Yes, so if you can resolve the conflict and come in some midway or the pathway, so that at least you can have a wonderful life. Because I think the more conflict there will be in relationships, the more peace will get disturbed, and the more drama it will be, whether it's emotional, mental, physical, psychological, sociological dramas, it will create. And then obviously you will not be happy and at peace. We form relationships in our life to be peaceful and to be happy, to keep this concept of everlasting happiness. But if there's too many conflicts in the relationship, there will obviously be no peace and no everlasting happiness. So resolve the conflicts that whatever anyone has in relationships.
What are the similarities between Himanshu and Milland?
I think Milind has predominantly germinated from Himanshu. So I think Milind has all the traits of Himanshu. The only thing is, a lot of these traits must have gotten subsided and repressed over a period of time. But then you also trigger it. Like there was a time, I think, when I was impulsive and reactive and a bit of intense. There was a time in my early days when we started 18, 19 and 20, 21, whatever. But then I think over a period of time, you let go of all those things and you realize that you need equanimity more in life to be centered and balanced. But yes, then in order to portray Milind, you have to trigger it back again and let it germinate from you. Fortunately, with me, I think my teachers always taught me, especially the acting teachers, that never be a clone of anyone and never copy anyone, whosoever the artist or an actor it is. So the idea is through Milind, I also try to find myself. And whatever I portray, it has to be a part of me only in some form. Maybe I don't remember, maybe I may have forgotten, maybe it's repressed, maybe it's suppressed, I don't know, but it is definitely a part of me.
Himanshu, you just mentioned that during the initial days, you were also impulsive. There were days when it was difficult. But coming this from you, like you impart your wisdom, you impart knowledge, you share a lot of things to people, you enlighten people, those who are in need, and they really motivate people. So, is that all come from your personal experience that you want others to understand their state of
Absolutely,
mind?
yes. Absolutely, yes. It has to be. It has to be from the personal experiences. Whatever I share, whatever wisdom is being shared through me, I think it's predominantly whatever experiences I've had. So I am pretty certain with the fact that if I've not experienced something, I will not share. I need to experience it. This is like a parent does to a child. First the parent experiences, and then the child experiences and follows the footsteps. So it's pretty much like this. And this is what I've learned from my teachers as well. First the experiences, and then whatever they gain from the experience, they share it. And it's pretty simple form of empathy and compassion. And that's what I feel. Because that's where the authenticity and the truth comes from. If I myself have not experienced hypothetically about the silence fast, right? If I've not experienced silence, how will I tell you what silence means? Then it predominantly cuts down into words. And words are immaterial unless and until it's backed by the authenticity and the truth. So I need to experience it as well. And all those things that we've been doing since 6 years with Share and Grow, it is predominantly all the experiences that I've had. Some through writing, some through reading, some through observing, some through absorbing, some through feeling. It has to be some kind of experiences. It can't be otherwise. Otherwise, there's no truth and no authenticity. And if there's no truth and authenticity, it will not touch anyone's hearts. That's the thing that I feel. It's like acting. If I don't feel the dialogues that I'm speaking, if I'm not so real in that moment, it will not touch you. If I am myself feeling it, then only it will, touch you. Otherwise, it won't. Otherwise, they're just mere words spoken from my mouth, and people will say, "Okay, acha hai, okay, nikal gaye." But if you want in that moment and feel every aspect of what you're feeling at that moment, you have to deeply be in it and deeply feel it. It's as simple as that.
That's sweet. Also, did you always want to be an actor? Like, you've been in the industry for really, really, really long time. You've done films,
Yeah.
you've done reality shows, you've done like a lot of things. So, did you always want to be
Yeah.
an actor?
I don't know about that. I never thought that I wanted to become an actor, but I think maybe I was destined to become an actor because in ninth standard, I did a mono acting competition, I remember. And all of a sudden, nobody had participated ever in any kind of acting from my house or my family and everything. Something happened to me, and I said, I will act like Nana Patekar from Krantiveer. There was a film where he won national award. And the only reason for me was I think I wanted to win awards. So I was this boy who longed for appreciation and fame. I think that was the only key at that point of time because I wanted to be famous, and I decided, maybe acting is a beautiful way to get trophies and awards and the competition winning and all that stuff. So it's a different ballgame that years before now, all those things have been left behind. The fame, catapulation, and moving towards those trophies and awards. Now it doesn't entice me anymore. But in my childhood, yes, I think that's where it germinated. And that's what I feel in such a young age when I was in 8th or 9th standard and something like this happened. I feel maybe I was destined to become. And before this video call, I was writing something on acting after so many days, that how acting, is playing different roles in one lifetime. So I'm blessed to be an actor where I think I can encompass so many lives in one and live so many lives, and also side by side have a beautiful opportunity blessed by God to touch people's lives through the craft that I have. Because it is also very inspiring and enlightening for people because we follow cinema so strongly that whatever part that you're portraying, it has a deeper impact on the people's lives. Like I still remember the Rang De Basanti scene when the lighting candles happened in Rang De Basanti when our Mahatma dies, and it is so beautifully encapsulated by the society that everyone does it today when something like this happens. So we pick so many beautiful things from cinema and acting. So it is a very beautiful form of performing art, which is so meditative, which actually helps you, one, to connect to oneself. It also helps you to connect to the universe. It also helps you to touch people's lives, which in itself is a beautiful blessing and noble blessing, I feel.
So, when you began, was it an easy ride for you, or were there hurdles, and how did you overcome
Of
those?
course, they're supposed to be hurdles and there should be hurdles. It can't be easy and it shouldn't be easy. If it is easy, you don't understand the value of it. And you also don't dive deep into the pool. You have to dive deep into the ocean to get that pearl. Then only the pearl is worth it as well. So of course there have been so many hurdles. No work, less of money, a bit of, I won't say exploitation is a wrong word. But yes, if you don't know your job, then you will be mocked at, you will be humiliated, you will be shouted at, you will be scolded. There have been times like that. And also for me, whatever I've become today, the whole credit completely goes to acting because I keep saying this, the zest to become a better actor, because I was so bad at it, the zest to become a better actor actually made me a better human being. Because then the layers and the peel, like it's like an onion,
Hmm.
वो उसके छिलके उतरते रहते हैं ना, then you start finding the white core in between.
Yeah.
That's exactly happened. I had to undo so many things. I had to unlearn so many things. I had this whole, I think the generation that we belong to, they had this whole fitur of becoming the next Shah Rukh Khan,
Yeah.
right? And that's why we used to emulate him. And what happens is when you emulate or idolize someone, the nuances of his craft and acting also starts coming into you. And you become a poor version of Shah Rukh Khan, which nobody wants to see. So it had taken me so much time to unlearn all those things that I'd learned and find myself and my core, my voice, my tonality, my expression. Everything has to be me, something which is absolutely original. It can't be a clone or it can't be a copy of anyone.
Right. Right.
That's for sure. So I think for an artist, especially for a performing artist, it's very important to find originality because people pay for originality. They don't pay for clones.
Absolutely, sir. Absolutely. So also, we see a lot of videos that you post on your social media with Paridhi ma'am, with Vaishnavi. So how, I mean, your chemistry with Paridhi ma'am is so smooth. It just flows. It just flows. So,
Really? I don't know about that.
like you shared that clip where you are talking about how hurt, pain, love, everything is just in
Yeah,
one scene. So
yeah,
it speaks a lot. It speaks a
yeah.
lot about. It speaks volumes. So how? Please tell us your experience working with her and how is it so easy?
I think I don't know about this word called chemistry. I only understand what I've worked over a period of time with so many co-stars of mine. I think there has to be mutual respect for each other. I think there's a deep respect for your co-artist. One, because while performing a scene, you're diving deep into an ocean which you don't know. You're diving deep into a craft which you don't know. You don't know how the scene will come out because it has to have trust and support of each other. Like if I'm saying a line, so the other person also needs to feel that line. If I say and the person does not feel, it makes the scene zero. So I think you need to have a beautiful trust, understanding, and support for each other. Strangely, in fact, I was writing the same again because there was a photo and I was thinking I'll post it in a day or two. And on that same photo of me and Paridhi, I was writing the same thing that, thank you for being such a wonderful co-star. It has to encapsulate deep trust and deep respect for each other as a human being and as a co-star. So I think that's where the whole magic also starts to come because you understand the other person, you support the other person. It's not like this is my scene and this is your scene. It has to be our speaking or I'm not speaking, whether she's speaking or she's not speaking. So it's like a relationship, how you understand each other, how you trust each other. So in acting also, there has to be this beautiful relationship between two co-stars, two co-actors, because as actors, what happens, Gayatri, we bear our emotions in front of camera, we bear our soul, and it can only touch other people when it has to be pure. So the purity has to be there, I feel. So I don't understand the word chemistry. I understand the word purity.
Purity. Okay.
If there's purity, it's so simple. Now, throughout our life, we are only searching for purity. That's why we go to temples, right? When we go to temples, we find immense peace and happiness and bliss because there's purity. So in acting or any performing art or in dancing, singing, everything, there has to be purity. Once it is pure, I think it will touch people's heart. I think people um, love the purity probably when they're seeing me and Paridhi on screen. Nobody's trying to get into each other. Nobody's unseen. Nobody's trying to overshadow, overpower, or influence. We're just being there and respecting each other. That's it. It's as simple as that. These are different forms of life that I'm explaining it to you. I think not many people will explain all these things.
So, there were times like the content on TV is evolving a lot. Earlier, there used to be dramatic
Yeah.
scenes, dramatic, very loud expressions, but now it's all subtle, very easygoing, natural. So, how do you see this change as on TV?
Um, I'm glad that there's a change. One, first of all, because I think the more dramatic it becomes, the more regressive also it becomes, the more disidentified it becomes as well. We live like you and me are talking, it's very real, right? So then once the reality is there, the belief is also there. Then people identify it with, the emotions get connected. The more we get into the real zone, I think that's exactly where people start identifying. That's where the audience gets connected. That's what they want to see, because they want to see real people. They don't want to see people who are just out of the blue dramatic and exaggerated. That was probably years back. Maybe the acting had a different notion at that point of time, or performing art had a different notion. But at present, where we are, I think everyone wants to see the real flawed you, not the idealized perfect you. Nobody believes in idealization. Nobody is perfect. Nobody will ever be perfect. I myself am such a flawed human being. You yourself will be a flawed human being. Everyone itself is. So we want to see everyone with their flaws as well. Like Milind has his own flaws as well. Nupur has her own flaws as well, which is what we love about people, and which is where we get identified कि यार कुछ कमियां मुझ में हैं, कुछ उसमें है, मेरी कमियां मुझे पता है, उसकी कमियां उसमें उसे पता है, आओ मिल के कुछ ऐसा बनाते हैं जहाँ पे दोनों की कमियां छुप भी जाएं और हमारी स्ट्रेंथ भी बाहर आ जाए. बस इतना ही सिंपल है.
वैष्णवी के साथ में आपका बहुत बहुत प्यारा रिलेशनशिप है जो हम देखते हैं,
Yes.
बहुत प्यारा है. तो हाँ, वो मतलब डेवलप हुआ इक्वेशन रहते रहते वक्त के साथ कैसे क्या हुआ है? शी इज अ स्वीट
वो
गर्ल.
मुझे लगता है अब she's a wonderful kid. I mean, वो कुछ अलग अलग ही कनेक्शन है मुझे लगता है. और वो जब मैंने पहली बार उसे देखा था, आई थिंक रिहर्सल्स पे, रीडिंग सेशंस पे, आई थिंक कुछ डांस वांस की बात आई थी, एंड आई स्टिल रिमेंबर दैट मोमेंट. आई लुक्ड एट हर, शी लुक्ड एट मी, एंड शी सेड आप डांस करो, ऐसा कुछ उसने बोला था. मुझे याद है, छोटा सा बच्चा 10 साल का, तो मैंने नच वच किया था, उसने भी किया. And I still remember that moment is still very encapsulated in my heart and soul. And I felt that there is going to be a deep connection. And it just, I think, when there's a connection, you don't put an effort to it. It just flows effortlessly. With that beautiful, blessed kid, that kid is so talented that I am immense. She doesn't read her lines, she just sees it once and everything gets etched in her memory. She's so perfect with her nuances, with her performance, and so full of love. Everyone loves her so much. I think that's where we both have a very deep connection, because probably what I feel of myself is I'm also full of love because of whatever I've experienced in life. So, and I feel that kind of synchronicity with her kid. She's dancing and enjoying. Everyone on the set is so beautiful and loving, towards her. So maybe some kind of connection which is beyond words. And of course there has to be a deep sense of connection and purity, and deep love for her. I think I've never felt that kind of love for any kid ever till before. In fact, Amrita gets surprised as well. I myself get surprised the kind of affection for her, and it just developed over a period of time without making too much of an effort. And I think it may be some past life connection. This is what I feel.
It's been a long time we haven't seen you and Amrita ma'am together on screen. Will we get to?
She's very shy acting in front of me. So you may not see us working together. And this is what the discussion that we had after Nacha as well. We were offered a couple of stuff. And she's like, dance once ki baat alag thi, acting we can't do together because every day we have to act in front of each other. I want us to be as real as possible and not get into this acting zone. Because I think we also have a different way of working. She has a very different way of working. She has her different teams and everything. I have my own team. I think we have different temperaments of working as well. So she's like, I'm very happy. Let's, our life has to be away from all this, which is a very beautiful part, I feel. Once you start intermingling your personal and professional life, especially as an actor, the conflict will start to come. Because as an actor, you're also into yourself as well. And but in relationship or in life, you have to be with each. So दोनों चीजें थोड़ी अलग-अलग होती हैं. तो I think it's very important कि अगर हम उसको अलग रख सकें और अपनी लाइफ की sanity को maintain करके you come back to your personal life after you shoot, and we discuss so much. We talk so much about life, acting, craft, dancing, everything. About producing, creating, content, everything. But I think we work in different zones. Once in a blue moon we come together, dance and do something, then it's different, but not something which is a long term. I feel that may not happen. That we decided post match only, I think. तो तब नहीं हुआ तो अब क्या होगा बताओ.
Do you feel it is important to stay relevant on social media?
I don't know what is the word relevance means, because social media, one, it's a beautiful field of expression. I think you can express yourself. But the only thing is, I feel it should not become taxing upon you. Once it becomes, it's very simple. If we have a relationship and the relationship is beautiful, it's fantastic. The moment the relationship starts to become toxic, you will have to cut away. I think for a lot of people, I feel that it's becoming toxic somehow. Or maybe the way they are intaking social media is becoming toxic, and it's also becoming like Anupama ji ka ek bari kuch comment tha. It's like a monster that you feed in every day, in order to stay relevant. But I think it's your choice. I mean, hardly makes a difference. If you disappear for some time, the world is not going to end. If somebody is following me, is also following 10,000 other people as well. If my videos will not come, that doesn't mean that they will not have some positive influence in their life. They will find it from somewhere else. It's us who start to feel that if I disappear, the world will end. Nothing is going to happen. If you die today, if I die today, nothing is going to happen. It's as simple as that. तो social media तो बड़ी छोटी सी चीज है. लोगों की जिंदगियां रुकती नहीं है. हमें ऐसा लगता है कि सब चीजें खत्म हो जाएंगी. खत्म कुछ भी नहीं होता है यहाँ पर, क्योंकि आप भी इतने इम्पोर्टेंट नहीं हो जितना आप खुद को इम्पोर्टेंस दे देते हो, मुझे ऐसा लगता है. तो ठीक है, if you want to take a break from social media, if anyone wants to take a break from, so like I also keep taking breaks in between. When I realize that I don't have anything to say, I think the only thing which we need to do is, one, stop fueling validation from social media. Stop looking at those likes and views and the comments and appreciation, because that's like a vicious circle. Because the more you start looking at that, the more you get caught in the vicious circle. Because वो ऐसा होता है कि आज आपके 500 के फॉलोअर्स हैं, कल आपको 600 चाहिए होगा, फिर 1 million, फिर 10 million, फिर 100 million. वो रेस कभी खत्म नहीं होगी. It's a never-ending race. So you have to stop asking for validation from social media. Second, you just go there to express yourself and let it be. After that, छोड़ दो. Like most of the times I've been doing since such a long span of time, we post it, or my team will post it, and after that we forget about it. उसके बाद कोई कमेंट नहीं है, कोई इमोटिकॉन्स नहीं है, कोई कुछ नहीं है. क्योंकि उसके बाद फिर क्या होता है, कोई आपको कुछ अप्रिशिएट करता है, आप कमेंट में जाके फिर थैंक यू बोलते हो, फिर वो इमोटिकॉन डालेगा, फिर आप इमोटिकॉन डालोगे. इट्स लाइक अ विशियस सर्कल. सो लेट इट बी. आपने अपने आप को एक्सप्रेस कर दिया, उसको कुछ अच्छा लगा, उसने एक्सप्रेस कर दिया, उसके बाद छोड़ दो. डोंट गेट कॉट इन दैट विशियस सर्कल. सिंपल है, ज्यादा कॉम्प्लिकेट नहीं करते चीजों को.
बहुत अच्छा लगा. It was very nice talking to you. I really loved it.
Thank you. Likewise, Gayatri. It was beautiful and I really enjoyed it as well. Thank you for your time as well.
Thank you for your time, sir.
Thank you. Take care. God bless you. Bye-bye.
Take care, sir.